everyone. It's Tuesday evening, the 11th day of May 2021, and this is Weather for Weather Geeks. We don't have a lot of real active weather to talk about over the next handful of days, but as always, we'll find plenty of interesting weather and sciencey subjects to discuss. On this Tuesday evening, I wanted to start with a little history lesson here over the last couple of weeks. Of course, the last week has been pretty chilly. Today was our 7th consecutive colder than average high temperature, and some of these departures from average have been pretty impressive. We were 16 degrees cooler than average today. When the wind was blowing, it felt even cooler. We've been as much as 20 to almost 30 degrees cooler than average as far as high temperatures have gone since we went into this cool snap during the middle of last week. 54 the high today after a low of 40 this morning. The clouds prevented frost in most of the area last night. It was a blustery day today. Max wind gust at the airport today registered 38 miles per hour. So that made it feel even cooler than it actually was, but it was still a good-looking day. Now, May is only a third of the way over, and the second half of May looks a lot warmer than the first half. That being said, May is certainly bucking the trend so far. The trend in the last few years, and well, we'd go back even farther than that, has been, of course, for temperatures to be warmer than average much more often than cooler than average. When we look at a month-by-month breakdown, here in 2021, February, the only month so far that has been cooler than the average. Through the first 10 days of May, though, pretty good temperature anomaly. We're running about 6 degrees cooler than average through the first 33% of the month. But again, that number is not going to hold because things are looking up during the second half of May. Good looking day to check out the clouds today. We started the day with kind of a mackerel sky. As we got into the afternoon today, a nice looking fair weather cumulus field, and the air aloft very dry, so we had deep blue skies above those cumulus clouds. Good day to just pick out some shapes in the clouds and just check out the majesty of the atmosphere. But boy, you needed to bundle up, that is for sure. Weak weather disturbance is crossing the eastern Great Lakes this evening, and a couple of sprinkles and showers are trying to survive the trip over Lake Erie. I can't totally 100% rule out a passing sprinkle somewhere across the area this evening. Most of us won't notice that, and most of us will be in for the night by that point. Most of this would occur after sunset this evening, but it won't be much at all. Dry air should prevent most of this from surviving. We have a partly cloudy sky, and clouds will tend to collapse a little bit this evening. It'll be clearer this evening than it was last evening. We're going to try to launch this rocket again. Now, as of 7:04, things are still go, but they'll be keeping a close eye on the winds aloft at the NASA Center in Wallops Island, Virginia. This will be the 5th attempt to launch this rocket. The purpose of this rocket, an unmanned rocket, is to kind of study the upper atmosphere and how it interacts with outer space, evolving the science of auroras, things like that. Really cool stuff. And what's cool about this, and the reason we've been talking about it, is if they launch the thing and we have a nice partly cloudy to mostly clear sky overhead, we can see it. And as I mentioned last evening, if we do get a chance to see this evening, if they launch it, if you see a contrail behind it, exhaust, that's an airplane, not the rocket. This will look kind of like the International Space Station does when it flies overhead, just moving across the sky a lot faster than the space station does. Kind of a singular point of light in the east-southeast sky, 30 to 60 seconds after launch, if the launch occurs. That launch window starts at 8:05. It closes at 8:45, so somewhere in that 40 minutes range, they may have favorable enough conditions to launch this thing, although I know they are concerned about the wind aloft once again this evening. Our winds will diminish pretty quickly this evening, and with a clearing sky overnight, a higher chance of impactful frost tonight than we had last night. And so a frost advisory has been hoisted for our entire television viewing area. I think most communities will see temperatures around 32 to 34 by daybreak tomorrow, and so another night to bring in the hanging baskets and protect those plants. Probably just one more night this spring coming up after tonight. That would be tomorrow night. And then I really think we're in the clear not only for, the hanging baskets and things like that, but if you want to start the garden, it's not exactly going to be midsummer-like in the coming days, but after we get through tomorrow night, I think we probably have the green light to garden freely without the threat for frosts and freezes going forward. All right, high pressure will drift across the area over the next couple of days. Few fair weather cumulus clouds once again tomorrow. It's going to look a lot like today tomorrow, just not as breezy in the afternoon. And then clear and chilly to start Thursday. Again, patchy frost, maybe not quite as thick and as widespread as tomorrow morning, but it will be a possibility Thursday morning. And then some fair weather cumulus bubbles up again Thursday afternoon. Weather disturbance in the upper levels might kick off a shower across the ridge tops, over towards Seven Springs, PA, Johnstown, PA, maybe Altoona, down towards the Blue Ridge Parkway, West Virginia into Western Virginia, but I think we are dry through the end of the week. In fact, not a drop. Tuesday right through Saturday, and overall, I would say the weekend is looking pretty good. Now, it's not going to be super warm, but it will be warmer, upper 60s to around 70 as we go into the weekend. And that'll be the theme for the longer range. You know, I don't see an 85-degree day coming our way in the medium to long range, but we can probably say goodbye to these high temperatures in the 50s that we've been kind of plagued by over the last handful of days, even some highs in the 40s in this pattern. We're going to see a lot of 70s, I think, in the longer range, and by the 8 to 14-day period, par for the course high temperature-wise is in the lower 70s. And so something around there or into the mid, maybe upper 70s on occasion, I think is what we can expect as we go into the longer range. Thank you as always for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll keep you updated on the potential launch from Virginia this evening. Maybe we have something cool to check out in the sky in about an hour. Otherwise, I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11.